back to Spark Academy Bangalore. So today I am here to help you out with the grammar part of the Kannada SSLC examination paper, where most of the students lose their marks, and that becomes the reason for them to lose their distinction. So here I am to present you all with the common sentences. And now what do you mean by the common sentences? These are those sentences which have been already given to you, and you need to fill the exact information whatever is asked. Like if giving an example of a Kavi Parichaya, if the Ara Mitra is the writer, then all the details you just need to remember, just the date, place, the books and the awards. Just the name, no need of the formation of the sentences. You can just remember these sentences and you can just fill in the blanks with the appropriate or the respective writer whichever is asked in the paper, so that it is easy for you people not to read and write about every lines whatever is given in your textbook, because in the textbook the sentences for the each and every poet and the writer differs, which makes the students feel difficulty in memorizing the Kavi Parichaya. So here you can just memorize these simple sentences and just filling the blanks with the appropriate information about the respective writer or the poet. Now what does this mean? Let me explain you the meaning of these sentences so that it is easy for you to by heart those sentences. Okay. So first the question 25 will be asked for the Kavi Parichaya. Now what will you write for the Kavi Parichaya? You need to remember all the dates, books and the names of the respective writers and the poets, so that whatever poem has been written by the respective writer, you have to remember the details such as books, awards, etc. Now you just remember that and remember these simpler sentences such as dash ravaru, that means this poet, dash rally means on this date, then dash emballi, that means at this place Janisidaru was born. Okay, so ivaru barediruva pramukha krutigalendare, that means the books written by this poet or the writer is, you need to mention the names of the books. Then ivarige dash prashastigalo labhisive, that means this poet or the writer have, this person in general, this person have received these kinds of prashasti awards and labhisive have taken. So this is the common sentence, dash ravaru dash ralli dash emballi janisidaru, full stop. Then ivaru barediruva pramukha krutigalendare, the pramukha means important, kruti means books or the writers which has been written by this person is, then ivarige dash prashastigalo labhisive, then this person have received these kinds of awards. So end of the Kavi Parichaya, you just remember these simple sentences and just fill in the blanks. Okay, so coming on to the next question, that is Saramsha. Now in this question, the 4 lines of some poem will be given to you. You need to write the Saramsha. What do you mean by Saramsha? It is a summary. You need to just mention about the 4. You just need to mention the summary of those 4 lines of the poem. Okay. Now how will you remember? How will you write it? Because many of the students don't feel Kannada as an easy language, so you can by heart this is salugalannu, that means these lines dash, that means poem name. You need to mention the name of the poem. You should be able to identify what kind of what is the lines which has been given, what is the name of the poem from which these lines have been extracted. Okay, so poem name you should mention it. Then Emba Padyadinda, ee salugalannu dash Emba Padyadinda arisakollalaಗಿದೆ, that means these lines have been taken from arisakollalaಗಿದೆ, that means have been taken from Emba Padyadinda, means from this poem. You are writing the poem name, so this poem. Okay, so end of the sentence. Then ee padyavannu barediruva dash, you need to mention the name of the poet. This poem is been written by, you need to mention that. ದೆನ್ ಈ ಪದ್ಯ ಭಾವಾರ್ಥ ಏನೆಂದರೆ, now how will you explain this bhavartha? It is in a easy, in a tricky way I will tell you. You just either explain it in a very simple word if you are good enough in the Kannada language, or else write the related answer, because in every poem you will get a related answer for every line. If you don't know the Kannada even a bit to understand, then at least you can identify the words, like if it is a nimbeya hanninante, then you can at least recall that in which answer this nimbeya hanninante word comes. So write that related question, so that at least related answer, so that at least you will not lose the marks, you will get something approximate marks for that answer. So write on the related answer, then at the end concluded ಎಂದು ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ರವರು ಈ ಸಾಲುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಂದು ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ರವರು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಂದು ದಿಸ್ ಪೋಯಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ದಿಸ್, ಸೊ ಯು ಆರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಪೋಯಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಿಸ್, ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸೆಡ್, ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈ ಸಾಲುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಾರಾಂಶ. Now comes to the alankara, which most of the students find it difficult. Now what is alankara? It is a degree of comparison. You can say what you have learnt it in your English language, same as that. Now there are two types of alankara, upama alankara and the rupaka alankara. Now since we don't have a time, I am just giving a quick revision for you. I will not explain what is upama alankara and what is rupaka alankara. I will just say you how will you identify. Okay, now to identify I will tell you example. Nimbeya hanninante tumbida kunigal kere. If this ante or word is been present, then it is upama alankara. Remember it, if you see this word ante or nante, something, the ante or word, if these two are present, then it is upama alankara. And in upama alankara you will have one extra step to write, that is upama vachaka, that is ante or word. Okay, so first step is alankara. You need to mention the name of the alankara after you have identified it. Then upameya, that means what is the thing you are comparing it to. Here nimbeya hanninante tumbida kunigal kere, in this the kunigal kere is been compared to the nimbeya hannu. Okay, so in this upameya kunigal kere will be, because kunigal kere is been compared, right? So upamana means from which it is compared to. Kunigal kere is compared to nimbeya hannu, right? So kunigal kere will become the upameya and nimbeya hannu will become the upamana. So you should be very thorough with these two differences. Upameya, thing that is compared. What is the thing compared? Then upamana, thing that is compared to. That means what? How you are showing a revolution between these two between these two words. Okay, relation between these two sentences. Okay, then upama vachaka, I said, right? Upama vachaka you will not be seeing in rupaka alankara, you will just get it in the upama alankara. Okay, so this is the extra step which you have to write in the upama alankara. Now what is samana dharma? Samana dharma in easy way you remember, the last, the between word which comes before this ending of the, if this is the main word that is compared to, then in between whatever comes, whatever is remaining, in common sense, whatever is remaining in in one sentence, in one line, you write that. Tumbu budu. Tumbida you cannot write it, at least alter it and write it in tumbu budu. Okay, so samana dharma. Now samanvaya. Samanvaya means you need to explain it. Now how will you explain it? You should be very wise enough to write in a simple word. You should write kunigal kere nimbeya hanninante ಹೋಲಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. That means the kunigal kere is been compared to a nimbeya hannu. ಹೋಲಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ means is compared to. Then the next line which you are going to write is ಇದು ಭೇದ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಭೇದ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್. It is just like you're comparing it. In a reality, Kunegal Kere will not look like a Nimbeya Handu, right? So it is just a Bheda Kalpaneyagide. Then, Adarinda idu Upama Alankara. You are concluding it so. Therefore, this is Upama Alankara. So this is the ending of the Upama Alankara. Now, how will you write for the Rupaka Alankara? Same steps. The sentence which doesn't have the ante and the val will be identified as a Rupaka Alankara. Now, in the other, the steps between the Upama Alankara and Rupaka Alankara will be same. Only the difference is that the Upama Alankara will be having a Upama Vachaka, whereas the Rupaka Alankara will not have a Upama Vachaka. Okay? So, first step is Alankara. You need to write the name of the Alankara as soon as you identify it. Then Upameya, like which, what is the thing which is compared. In this example, Siteya Mukha Kamala Aralitu. In this, Siteya Mukha is compared to Kamala. So Siteya Mukha will become Upameya, and in Upamana, now it is compared to Kamala. So it will be Kamala here. So Samana Dharma, whatever is remaining, Aralitu. Then Samanvaya. In Samanvaya, the difference between these two is, here you will write Holisalagide. That means it's compared to. Here it is Helalagide. That is, it is said. It is not been compared. Here it is said that it is like that. Sitaya Mukha is like a Kamala itself. You are just assuring it. Here you will like as, like in the English language, you say in the simile figure of speech, you will use the you will use like and as, no, to compare the things. Same like that. The Upama acts as a simile in here, and here it will be like a metaphor. Like a metaphor, it will be acting here, but like there is no ante val, there is no like and as used here, like a metaphor in the metaphor does. So in this there is no like and as, that is ante and val. Here we are just directly saying that it is like that. Helalagide. Idu abheda kalpane. Here it was bheda, here it is abheda kalpane. Then you need to conclude it like Adarinda idu Rupaka Alankara vagide. Therefore it is called as the Rupaka Alankara. So I think it is clear, you people are clear with the Alankara. Now let us move on to the next question, that is the 28th question, which will be asked you to write on the Gade for a particular proverb. Okay, so startingly you will not be able to make out what kind of a Gade it is been given. So first item, Gadegalu Vedaಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನ. That means Gadegalu are, Gade is authentic as same as that of the Ved. It is authentic books, holy books. So the Gadegalu Vedaಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನ. Gade is same as the Veds. Okay. Now ಜನಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ನಿಜ ಜೀವನದ ಅನುಭವದ ಸಾವಿರ ಈ ಗಾದೆ ಮಾತುಗಳು. That means ಜನಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ನಿಜ ಜೀವನದ. That here it means that this Gade is being taken from the experience of the real life people who have lived their life and who have mentioned this Gade from the true experience of their lives. Okay, Jana Samanyara Nija Jivanada, the life of the people. The experience, it has been taken from the experience of the life of the people, and this Gade is being said by those people as according to their experience of their lives. Ivu ನೂರಕ್ಕೆ ನೂರು ಸತ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಅನುಸರಿಸಲು. That means ivu ನೂರಕ್ಕೆ ನೂರು means they are 100% true according to 100% true, and it is applicable to each and everyone's life. Okay, so ಎಂತಹ ಗಾದೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ dash ಎಂಬುದು that means you need to write the name of the ಗಾದೆ. For example, ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲು ಚಾಚು. For that ಗಾದೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತಹ ಗಾದೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲು ಚಾಚು ಎಂಬುದು ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣ ಗಾದೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗಾದೆ ಎಂತಹ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದೋಸ್ ಗಾದೆ, this gade, whatever gades they have given, this gade have a proper meaning. One of the gade which have a proper meaning is this gade. You are just giving the example for that. Okay. Now next step is ee gadeya artha enendare. Something whatever you are understanding from that in a simpler words you can just write on. Okay. Then ಎಂಬುದು ನಾವು ಈ ಗಾದೆಯಿಂದ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. Therefore or hence we are using this gade in our lives. Done. So you just since I have written it very small, so you will find it very small. But if you write it in your papers, it will be approximately 8 lines at least. So it is easy for you. So you need not by heart the different gades and just be praying that the same gade approaches in the exam. You just remember this, just filling the blanks. At least you will, at least losing the whole marks, you will get somewhere 3 marks or 2 marks, right? So just if you are writing according to this pattern, you will surely get a full marks. Okay. So the next question is the 37th question, which will be asking you to write prabandha, that is essay. Now, if you are not good enough in the Kannada language, you will find this particular question as very tough question, because you are not used to frame a sentence in the Kannada language. So the easy step for that is write it in a steps. First is Pitige, that is the introduction. Then Vivarane, that is the explanation. Then Upasamhara, that is conclusion. Together, whatever you have understood. Now you divide it. PTK 2 lines you write on. Just 2 lines, somewhere make a sentence. Make it 2 lines. Then 4 lines Vivarane. I'll write on the advantages, disadvantages. Then Upasamhara. Conclusion in a 2 lines, that we have to plant like this, that. You just make the sentences and write down. Together if you write according to this step, you will be able to finish it in the 8 lines prabandha. 8 lines of prabandha is enough for examiner to give you the marks. Okay, so we have finished with this question also. The last question is 38th question, that is the patra, that will be asked for the 5 marks. Now what is the difference between the official and the personal letter? It is just a format. So you just remember the format. I have written it in a simpler form so that you are able to remember it. Dinanka, same here. Only the difference is Shri and Shema will be written in person, whereas here it will not be written. In the means from address. Here Ivarige. Here Ivarige will Ivarige will come behind, come one above each other. Here first from address will come and at the end Ivarige will come. That is the 2 address. Then body of the letter. Then Tamma Vishwasi. Vishwasi carry for the official letter. You're sincerely. You're something like that. Okay. Then Inti Nimma Pridiya. That means you're lovingly. So this is the difference between the personal and the official letter. So this was the quick recap for you all. For the grammar part of your question paper, I feel you would have find it very useful. If you want to take a screenshot, you can just take a screenshot of the whole board and just by heart these common sentences for your examination. I find this was helpful video for you all. Wish you all the best, and I wish that these sentences will help you a lot in your grammar part. So best of luck for your exams and happy learning. Be calm, attend your exams and just enjoy this period of your exams. Thank you.